Okay, so we've got our Logic session up and running. First thing to say is we brought in a drum loop here, so I'm just going to bypass these plugins so you can hear the drum loop in its raw state. So that's what the the loop sounds like with no processing at all. And the next thing to say is I've inserted a gain plugin, which I'll just open so you can see what I've done there. And I've knocked the gain back by 12 dB. So I've taken 12 dB of volume out of the drum loop. This is because filters, they really mess with the EQ and therefore the gain staging of your sound. So you'll find that if you've got a loop like this one, which peaks at 0 dB when you're starting, if you start really messing around with the filter, you're going to overdrive the channel and run out of headroom. So this is just like a precaution in advance. And now let's bring in the filter. So the first thing to say is you've got this mix control here, which is going to give you control over how much of the filter you hear versus how much of the original sound. So if you take it down to 0, it's 100% original sound, just the drum loop without any processing. And then, like I did, if you move the mix up to a 99, you're hearing entirely processed sound and very little of the original coming through. So cutoff and resonance, I think most people will probably be familiar with what they do. And then you've got your filter type here, which is a choice of bandpass and low pass filter. So let's just start with the low pass filter and you'll be able to hear what I'm doing. So if you listen, I'll move the cutoff and the resonance in real time. And then eventually I'll increase the distortion to bring a more distorted sound in. Then the same idea with it set to low pass. So as you can hear, there's some quite impressive creative possibilities on offer. Next thing to talk about is this envelope amount, attack and decay. So you can actually make the filter follow the drum loop. And what it's doing is it's following the envelope of the sound or the transients of the beat. So as I turn that up and play with the attack and delay, you'll hear that the filter sound starts moving relative to how the drum part is actually playing in its original file. Let's have a quick listen to that. And finally, right here on the right-hand side, you've got a delay setting. So you've got delay time, feedback, which is the amount of times the delay repeats. And then again, you've got a wet, dry mix like you did over here on the left-hand side with the actual control. I mean, again, it gets a bit out of control with the filter, but you can really create some mad effects by doing it this way. Let's have a quick listen to that. And the final thing to say is, like most AU plugins in Logic, you can then control all of these parameters with automation. So if you hide show track automation up here in the toolbar and then select North Pole filter, you'll see you've got the controls here. So to set up a very simple filter sweep, you could just select bandpass, you could just select cutoff and resonance. Let's do that now. So cutoff as our first parameter, and we'll make our second one resonance. And we'll just reset the filter so it's take the envelope out, because we don't need it following the actual envelope of the sound anymore, because we're going to control it with the automation controls within Logic. I'm just going to turn the delay off again so it's a bit clearer what it's actually doing. And we'll go back to the low pass filter type. And that's your classic filter suite created with automation. Hope you enjoyed that. I've been James Muir for Make More Noise. Please tune into our podcasts again.